Alright, hello everyone, this is Krodik giving you game 2 in the series. It looks like this replay was taken from the Zotac Cup. I believe they have the weekly tournaments as well, just like the Warcraft 3 tournaments. Killer spawning as the yellow Zerg at the 6 o'clock position. Meanwhile, Tarson spawning as the light blue Terran this time. So, Tarson, I believe, changing up his colors. I don't remember such a pretty Terran in the game. And we'll see what's going to go down here. So, Tarson so far played a really good game. He was really able to run on 2 bases for quite a while, and his upgrades were really what won him that game. 2-2 upgrades against 2-0. The Marines were dealing more damage, taking less damage from those Mutalisks. The Zerglings were only dealing their standard, I believe, 5 damage per attack, while they were taking 8 damage per attack. Zerglings, those upgrades on those small units that attack very quickly, very important when you have those critical upgrades early on. Now, Tarson building a supply depot on the front door. Interesting move by Killer, opening up with this Overlord and now just simply making a move across the map. The Overlord could get scouted out and shot down. This is one of those things that a lot of Korean players are very wary of as of late. They do not want to end up losing. They do not want to lose that Overlord early on, but I believe the Overlord should be able to get into this no man's land here where Marines can't shoot them, or if they can, they just back away, you know, a couple of inches, and then they are fine and dandy. Drone now making its way up, and we'll see if Tarson does once again utilize that gasless expansion into Reactor Hellions into Banshee play. That was marginally effective, but it did prevent a lot of Killer's early harassment. Killer had trained up a lot of Zerglings and then took an economic lead right behind that, and that was a really daring play by Killer, and I thought Killer would have been able to capitalize on that just a little bit more, but only going Zerglings, not getting any roaches, not having just a wide variety of units really seemed to be the problem there, as the drone does scout out that a command center is coming down. He wants to make sure that the one drone is not destroyed, as we now see an extractor and a pool being established. We should be getting up 100 gas, getting that metabolic boost, and now this game is underway. SCV is going to be coming up that ramp here in just a second. It will scout out that spawning pool and see also that extractor, and pretty much can click on that extractor, see how much gas is remaining in there, and pretty much know that, okay, based upon this timing, I know when metabolic boost will be completed. Let's see what Tarson tries to do here. A lot of Terran players have recently been building their bunkers right here instead of building on the ramp, and I really like this play. Zerglings in general have been doing a lot of run-bys, and since this ramp is just so wide, it is very difficult to properly wall it off. And in what we saw from Killer in the last game, if Killer is able to just train up about 3 dozen Zerglings, which they can do very quickly, this entire game could be lost in just a matter of seconds. Tarson does have a command center down over here. Most likely will be upgrading that to an orbital command, waiting for the minerals. There we go. Orbital command, definitely worth it, as it does mine up a lot of minerals. Even though it does slow down your SCV production, you do end up losing 2 SCVs in order to get that mule, but then again, because mules and SCVs can mine at the same time, it definitely helps. One Zergling is backing off. We're going to see an Overlord do a bit of a flyby. Killer, did he spot it? He spotted the barracks, and that was it. If he had spotted the reactor, he would know perhaps that there is going to be some Hellions. Now we are going into a tech lab down over here. Are we going to be going into a starport, or is this just going to be a tech lab on the barracks and then swap back over into Marine siege tank play as the follow-up? Tarson is once again behind 33 to 44 supply. There's that sea of Zerglings once more. This is not going to be a good position. Hellions need to get over here, and how much damage can they really deal against those Zerglings with, I believe, metabolic boost? And oh, here we go. Those Hellions in a bad situation, already going to get torched a little bit and now pulling away. There you go. The Hellions dancing out in a little bit of a curious fashion, as the Zerglings now going to come in from behind and now prevent the SCVs from mining. I believe that was a mistake by Tarson, as Tarson could have easily gotten... Oh, wait. Oh, Supply Depot caught down. A horrible mistake, as those Zerglings now pretty much going to be able to see everything on the inside of this base. He sees the 2 additional barracks. He sees that there is a tech lab now researching either stim or combat shield. Most likely SCVs now once again trying to repair that bunker. Bunker now down to 50 some odd hit points. It looks like it will get saved. Yes, now leveling off at 50 hit points, going back up once more as Killer once again investing very heavily in this 2-base Zerg play. And it's really not working out as well as I would have thought. You can see that the Zerglings are once again going to be inside. SCVs are not mining at this point, so that is a little bit of a nice maneuver there. As we are now once again even on supply, we see more Zerglings coming again. Zerglings are going to get taken out, but another SCV does go down. Worker kill, 10 workers killed, 29 versus 23. As Zerg now takes this opportunity to expand to their 3rd. I like this, a more aggressive play, as Killer may try to be a little bit more defensive. He doesn't want to push out. He doesn't know if his opponent's going to be going for Zerglings or perhaps do the transition into roaches. And also with a very strong creep highway spread across the map, those roaches may essentially get speed boost already. Zerglings still hiding down off over here. If you take a look at the army sizes, I'm pretty sure, yeah, Tarson with a much larger army right now, but Tarson does not know that, as we are going into roaches and some more queens. Hellion's going to take this time to move out and roll out. We'll see what these Zerglings are going to do. They are going to simply bypass the center portion of the map, making sure that these Hellions do not scout them out. And these Zerglings could once again deal a lot of damage. Killer is upside down on supply right now. There is 1 creep tumor off over here. A queen now getting caught in a very bad position. Will it be able to be saved? Roach is now trying to make its way over. Roach is coming over, and will it get even 1 Hellion? No, it doesn't look like it, but the Zerglings now inside the base once more, taking down more units. Are those Zerglings going to be able to get inside is the question. Yes, it will be able to. Now trying to go for a surround on some of those SCVs, as the Hellions now forced to retreat once more. Worker kill count up to 16 now, even though Tarson has dealt more damage. And this is not Brood War. These SCVs are stuck forever. You cannot lift off engineering bays. I am sorry. Gonna go ahead and just take them out instead. Nope, there's still 1 SCV, as he realizes, hey, I have medevacs. I can pick those units up. Alright, we are going to be going into some roaches here. The 3rd base is already up. No mining going on. Killer is up 71 compared to 62 at this stage in the game. Tarson now looking to just sit back and hopefully rely on his 2-base play. And this is straight up bio and nothing else. No siege tanks. There are some Hellions, but it isn't your standard Terran biomech that you often see. Hellions now making their way forward will be able to shoot down those roaches, but the roaches pretty much getting a hall pass to run away and leave once more. Tarson is behind by about 25 supply. Will he be able to come back once again, or will Killer be able to utilize these roaches effectively enough? And perhaps the banelings which are coming in momentarily, we are getting that banelings nest, and we should be morphing in perhaps some defensive banelings in the next 10 seconds or so. All right. It looks like those Zerglings and Roaches are going to be trying to push into the center here, but that fog of war, because of those vents, really causing problems. And now, Killer really overstaying his welcome here, taking a lot of damage, and that is not good at all. All of those Roaches now being forced to pull all the way back. That was not a good move whatsoever, and now we'll see what will be happening next, as we also see supply depots and a new command center come in from Tarson. Tarson in the previous game did establish that 3rd command center, but didn't really take his 3rd base until or actually I don't think he even took his 3rd base at all. Hellions now making their way down. Banelings do not have movement speed. That is going to be the one issue here, as the Banelings are now trying to make their way forward. Roaches able to get off some easy damage. Roaches will be getting that glial reconstitution, and they will be faster than even stimmed Marines. On the backdoor rocks, the rocks already down to 1,800 hit points. How is Killer going to respond? Zerglings could get in position here, and now we see Roaches and Banelings perhaps coming in for a bit of a flank. The Roaches do have that Glio reconstitution now. It will be able to move a little bit more quickly, and now the Banelings may be able to get a nice surround, and oh my goodness, Tarson doesn't have that many options to actually split his Banelings. Banelings going up against Marauders, though, not a good trade, and Tarson taking a lot of damage. And what will happen here? Killer now with a nice supply advantage once more. Harvester count 58 compared to 40. And that means Killer did more with less once again. Holding off that attack, really utilizing those Banelings even though he didn't have the Baneling movement speed. We are now transitioning into the pathogen glands at the 40-second mark. Around that time, we should see some infestors being trained. Actually, how long does it take? 50? Ooh, that actually is going to be a little bit bad on timing. 40 seconds. These infestors will not have enough energy for a fungal growth. A little bit of a mistake there by Killer. Hopefully that does not come back to haunt him. 25 energy on an infestor is very, very important, as we now see an armory being placed down, most likely for 2-2 upgrades. Siege tanks with Siege Tech have already been added. Tarson coming back, or trying to come back in with a strategy of drops. Killer may spot this. We'll see if he does spot this, and yes, he does. The medevac most likely should just stop and destroy those 2 overlords. 2 free overlords here, and with that, Tarson's drop has been revealed, but at the same time, he does get 2 overlords to make sure that an expansion is not taken. You can see that Killer is taking the center expansion here at what I will call the center 6 o'clock location. It is not a gold mineral patch at all, just your standard Vespene geysers as well. This is, I guess, one of the tournament versions of the map, the GSL version, and we are now going to see the Zerglings make their way across. Siege tanks and more factories coming in. Tarson really starting to ramp up his production as he's starting to hit a bit of a stride, and this may be the timing that he is looking for. He's going to get 2-2 upgrades, but he is already behind in upgrades, as we now see 2-2 already finishing. Apparently there is apparently Tarson saying that there is a lot of lag, unable to really do much of the things that he wants, and that's why it's an NA tourney. All right. So we'll see what's going to be happening here. Down goes these destructible rocks. Nothing going on over here yet. Orbital command about to land. And what is going to be happening, as there is one Zergling there, the Marines will scout it out and take it down in just a moment. And now we may see a very, very large attack coming here in just a moment. Zergling's now looking to swarm. Going to take down 1 free Marine and take down a 2nd free Marine. The orbital command being forced to back away. SCVs getting caught in transit. That's going to be bad news, as we see some fungal growths go down. A Killer looks like he may be able to get in a lot of damage here, but there are siege tanks, and this is the first time you really saw a lot of siege tanks. Will the infested Terrans be able to do enough? There are still siege tanks up on the high ground. The infestors are very expensive units. You cannot lose them to siege tanks like that. Otherwise, you will just be regretting it all day, as medevacs now make their way forward in order to offer in a little bit of scouting information and sight. 7 medevacs, or 8 medevacs in the air with only 15 Marines. Those Marines perhaps hoping that there are more Marines and not as many medevacs. We'll see what's going to be happening. A drop could be coming in once more, perhaps some sort of doom drop play. We are seeing that 137 compared to 100, as Killer really lost a lot more in that battle than he should have. There you see it, 8,800 resources lost compared to the 7,560. He did delay this expansion, though, and is still continuing to do so, as the harvester count 56 compared to 46 compared to 80, 30 workers killed, and I believe Killer, this is a game for Killer to lose. Unless he makes some horrible mistake, he is currently in the driver's seat. He has the stronger economy. He has the map control. He can easily take down these rocks, establish up this base off over here. Normally, Antigua Shipyard is a map that a lot of Zerg players say that it's an easy 3 base, but an impossible 4th. And Killer making this 4th base look absolutely a walk in the park here. But we'll see what's going to happen. Tarson likes this common choke area between his 3 bases, making sure that that meat grinder can simply just destroy all of the units if necessary. Zerglings, Roaches, Banelings, and Infestors continuing to take down some Destructible Rocks off over here. We'll see what will be happening next. Destructible Rocks already down to 700 hit points. It may fall in just a moment, and as we are now going into the Ketonis plating and also Ultralisk. Ultralisk coming out, they are going to be a force to be reckoned with. There's not that many Marauders. There are a lot of siege tanks, but once those Ultralisks get within melee range, they are something to behold. They are very, very beefy, very, very strong units, 500 hit points, especially with 3 armor right now, soon to be 6, I believe, making those Marines just shooting at those Ultralisks look like pea shooters. Eventually, with enough pea shooters, you can take down those units, but we'll see what's going to be happening next. Double Spire now in the transition for Killer. Killer wanting to be able to get upgrades and upgraded to a greater Spire as well. You can see that there are a lot of units. Banelings are in position. Ultralisk now trying to make their way over. There's a Fungal Growth, a beautiful one at that. A second one just as beautiful. Tarson seeing more green than blue in his army, losing a lot of those units as Killer now once again re-macroing up to 173 after losing a lot more than he should. We should be seeing some Infestors now coming in. There's some Scanner Sweeps. This is a whole bunch of Marines, and those Marines are just making their way through all of these hatcheries and all of these units here. As Ultralisk now making their way down the ramp, and they are going to start chomping away at those Marines. How much damage can they do? As we see Ultralisk coming up from the high ground as well. Siege tanks are going to be in a little bit of a dangerous situation, as they're not going to be able to necessarily attack those Ultralisks any longer. A Fungal Growth on all of these Marines would be perfect. Those Marines are upgraded 3-3 against the 3-3 upgraded Ultralisk. The Ultralisk now have 6 armor with the addition of that Ketonis plating. And who is coming out on top? This hatchery still taking a lot of damage here. Ultralisk down to 117. The Marines now being forced to back off here. There are in come some Banelings. The Banelings may be able to make their way in. Are we going to get another stim? Yes, that does deal 10 damage to all of the Marines, as new Marines try to act as a little bit of a wall here. But I believe Tarson will be able to just meat grind his way all the way through all of these Marines. Siege tanks now making their way forward, but with Zerglings as the follow-up, I believe that is going to be the GG. So Tarson losing game 2 in this series, forcing a game 3. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.